The EU's new AI Act is a truly landmark piece of legislation. But let's be honest, a law is just words on a page until you figure out how to enforce it. Today, we're diving into the expert engine designed to do exactly that. This analysis was carried out under the scientific supervision of Professor Vihar Kiskinov, Doctor of Legal Science.
So you've got this huge, comprehensive law for artificial intelligence, one of the first of its kind in the world. But that raises a massive practical question. How on earth do you make sure it's enforced consistently and with real teeth across 27 different countries, all with their own unique resources and levels of technical expertise?
To get our heads around that, we're going to walk through 5 key areas. First, we'll lay out the enforcement challenge itself. Then, we'll look at the expert lifeline the law provides. We'll dig into who these experts actually are, how the system works day to day, and finally, we'll connect all the dots to see what this means for building AI that we can all trust.
Okay, let's start with the big problem, the enforcement challenge. Because a law this ambitious is only as good as its ability to be put into practice in the real world.
Here's the bottom line. Without a solid mechanism for uniform, expert-led enforcement, you risk the whole thing becoming ineffective. The success of this entire project really does hinge on getting this part right.
The core of the problem is something we can call an expertise gap. Just think about it. AI systems are unbelievably complex, and the technology is changing faster than anyone can keep up. It's simply not realistic to expect every single national authority to have a full team of world-class AI specialists just waiting in the wings. This creates a really serious risk, the risk of the law being applied one way in one country and a completely different way in another.
So you have this clear problem, this expertise gap. Well, the AI Act provides a solution. It's a kind of expert lifeline built right into the law for national authorities, and it's found in Article 69.
So what is Article 69? The best way to think about it is as a support line for regulators. It establishes a central pool of elite independent experts that any member state can call on for help. This system is designed specifically to plug that expertise gap we were just talking about, making sure every country has access to the same high level of scientific and technical knowledge.
And the support is focused on 3 absolutely critical activities. First, there's technical conformity assessment. You can think of this as a deep audit to verify that a high-risk AI system truly meets all the legal requirements. Second, there's investigating serious incidents. If an AI system fails and causes real harm, these experts are brought in to find the root cause. And third is market surveillance, proactively scanning the market to find and deal with systems that aren't playing by the rules.
You're going to hear this term high risk a lot, so let's be crystal clear on what that means. We are not talking about your music recommendation algorithm. A high-risk system is one that could have a serious, negative impact on people's safety or their fundamental rights. Think about AI used to manage critical infrastructure, like water or electricity. AI in medical devices that make life-or-death diagnoses, or AI used in law enforcement. That's where the real enforcement focus lies.
This brings us to a really important question. Who exactly are the people on this panel? Let's take a look at how this expert engine is actually assembled.
The law itself gives us the vision. Recital 151 calls for a panel of independent experts with relevant scientific and technical knowledge. Now, those 2 words are key, independent and relevant. This ensures the panel isn't just theoretical, but provides practical, up-to-date expertise that can directly support what's happening on the ground. As you can imagine, the selection criteria are incredibly strict. Of course, they need proven, up-to-the-minute technical knowledge, but just as important is their independence. These experts have to be objective, completely free from commercial interests, and they're governed by very tough conflict of interest rules. The goal is to make sure their advice is impartial, accurate, and completely trustworthy.
What's really crucial to understand here is that this isn't just a panel of computer scientists. It's designed to be multidisciplinary. Of course, you need AI and machine learning experts, but you also need specialists in ethics and law to look at fundamental rights, experts in social and economic impact, and people with deep knowledge of specific sectors like healthcare or finance. It's a truly holistic approach.
So, we have the panel. Now, how does a member state actually get their help? Let's break down the practical mechanics of how this all works, the access, the costs, and the coordination.
The European Commission basically acts as the central coordinator for this whole system. Its role is to make access easy and to ensure that when a member state asks for help, that help is provided in a timely and effective way to get the most value out of it.
Now, while this expert support might involve some fees, the law sets up very clear principles for how that works.
First, the fees can't be so high that they stop enforcement from happening. Second, they have to be cost-effective and reasonable. And most importantly, the system has to guarantee effective access for all member states, no matter their size or their budget.
It's also worth noting the panel doesn't work in a vacuum. The AI Act also establishes technical testing facilities, creating a powerful partnership. You can think of the scientific panel as providing the high-level strategic analysis, the why. The testing structures provide the hands-on technical validation, the how. Together, they form a pretty comprehensive evaluation machine.
All right, so we get the what, the who, and the how. Let's wrap things up by looking at the why. Why does this whole expert-driven enforcement mechanism matter for the bigger picture of creating AI we can all actually trust?
You can really understand its impact through three main pillars. First, it drives harmonized enforcement, making sure the rules are the same in Lisbon as they are in Warsaw. Second, that creates a level playing field for innovators and businesses because the rules are predictable. And finally, and this may be the most important part, it builds public trust. Seeing the two's robust, expert-led oversight helps make people more confident in using AI.
And here's the really clever part. This system creates a virtuous feedback loop. When the expert panel investigates an incident, the lessons they learn don't just stay there. Those insights can be shared and turned into best practices that raise the bar for safety and compliance across the entire industry. It is a system that is literally designed to get smarter over time.
This focus on learning shows the goal isn't just about punishment, but about building a sustainable, trustworthy AI ecosystem. And that leaves us with a final, really crucial question. By creating this sophisticated, expert-driven system, is the European Union actually building the global blueprint for the future of artificial intelligence?